Hi, I'm Hayes.
And I'm Layla. And
we're
we're
blind.
blind.
I bet you didn't see that one coming.
Because we didn't either.
Hey everyone, it's Hayes.
And I'm Layla.
And welcome back to Didn't See That Coming. Today we have a really special guest. I'm super excited to have her on here. I've known her for probably over like 10 years now.
Oh,
Um,
actually? Okay, sorry.
actually, I don't even know.
I didn't know
Wait,
that. It has not been 10 years.
no, it's not 9, I'm 17, so 8 years. But we've grown really close over those 8 years. This is Alli. She's my teacher for the visually impaired. But I will just let her share a little bit about that before I just like go over explaining everything about Alli's identity. So Alli,
Hi. So I'm Hayes's TVI.
I'm Alli.
I'm Allie. I'm Hayes's TVI. Then that stands for Teacher for the Visually Impaired. And it's the best job ever having Hayes as my student.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yes.
only because you have me that you like your job, right?
That's actually part of it.
Yeah, if she had me, she would hate her job, guys. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I would too.
Um, all right then. So, Allie, now that you're here, I'm so excited to have you here, by the way. Can you just like can we just start and have you talk about I know we've said TVI is teacher of the visually impaired, but can you talk about what that actually means and I'd say what you do day to day in your job, just a brief overview.
hmm So Teacher for the Visually Impaired, it's not like a regular classroom teacher where you are um, uh, teaching a class to a group of students, and it's a misconception that I might sit in class with students. I do not, unless it's absolutely needed. My job is mostly going to different schools, and usually I have a plan in mind, but those plans are usually changing depending on what that student needs at that time.
Which for me, a
Um,
lot of times turns out to be a therapy session where I start having a mental
Sometimes.
breakdown over what's happening in school.
Yeah,
It's
we've
okay,
got,
Hayes. We all have those.
yes, we do. So my job just kind of depends on the student, but I am mainly there to help students with visual impairments access their curriculum and their work in school, and to help teachers create a accessible environment for their students with visual impairments. That's like the most basic um, definition right there. It's just making sure that it's accessible for the kids and that the teachers have the support they need to make it accessible for you guys.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's a
Well,
really
you
good
do your job.
explanation.
You do a great job. I just want
She
to say
Thank
I've
does.
never
you.
had you, but you do great. My TVI also
Thanks.
does great. Shout out to Miss Angie. I love you. I don't know if she's watching
I
this.
know Miss Angie. She's great.
Oh, she's
She's
awesome. I
great.
love
Yeah.
her.
Well, so you are my TVI, but I didn't meet you. Like, she wasn't just assigned to me as my TVI. A lot of times the school will just assign you a TVI, but I actually knew Allie before she became my TVI. Allie, do you want to like share a little bit about how you met, like me and Layla, and how you like became involved in the community, I
With
guess,
us, yeah.
with us? Yeah.
With you guys,
Because
yeah.
I
So
know with the
I,
community is a different story, but
yeah, it's a
yeah.
different story. So with you guys, I met Hayes before I met Layla, and I
Oh,
met Hayes through an after school program in Charlotte. At the time, it was run by IFB Solutions in
Ew.
Winston-Salem. The program
Hayes,
was
we
called
can't say that on the podcast.
the program was called the C program.
See, for blind
And
people, I know.
yes, and
Anyway, sorry.
And now it's
what did it
Bravo.
even stand for?
Student
Students
Student
enrichment
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 experience.
experience.
It
I
Experience.
was
like
really stupid.
Blue
Yes,
Ridge Adventures Vision optional a
Yeah,
lot more. That's a lot
Bravo.
I
We
funner.
like
love
that
you.
better.
Our 50 millionth shout out to Bravo.
Yeah,
Mm.
Bravo's the
You're great.
best. We
Yeah.
love Bravo.
Anyways, go ahead.
Donate
Yeah,
to
so I
Bravo.
was yeah, I was just a TVI at the time, and it was a part-time position as a teacher for the after-school program. It was just enrichment and fun activities for kids in the Charlotte area with visual impairments, and that's how I met Hayes. And later, I met Layla through Hayes by
Oh
doing
yeah.
camps.
Yeah, I think I met
Yeah.
you at summer camp. It was like the lakeside, whatever.
Yeah, that's I was thinking about that earlier. How did I meet Layla? I think it was
I'm
Lakeside.
pretty sure.
Yeah,
I
because I
think I
think
remember
you
meeting you
stayed with
there.
me
I did because
and
I was, and
they didn't know
remember you
you.
put me in the older age group because I didn't know anyone except Hayes, so you let me go like with the older kids, and then I met people.
That sounds
I
about
don't know if you
right.
remember that, but yeah, I
Which,
Yeah.
was like,
like, I feel like now you have
great.
to put Layla like two age groups down.
Uh, what?
She's
Okay, you
very
can go three
mature.
age groups down then. Don't even talk to me.
We do
Anyways,
always get put in the same age group like everywhere we go because they're like, oh, Hayes and Layla, we need to keep them like together at all
honestly,
times.
I'm surprised they haven't like separated us by now. Miss Allie, is that in your evil plans for the future? Is to
I don't
like,
have evil plans with you guys.
oh, okay,
No evil
thanks.
plans.
Do you have evil plans with any of your other students?
Not any of my current students. Well, maybe one.
Ooh,
Yeah, because I was gonna say
ooh,
there's one that I would sure have some evil plans
Yeah,
with
maybe one.
oh,
us
I think I
for
know who you're talking about. I think I
Hmm.
agree, but we can't. I don't think we can name drop.
No, no
I think
name
we
dropping.
should.
I don't. I don't think it's
No, I don't,
legal.
I don't even think he watches the podcast anyway, so I don't think he would even know. So it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. We won't name drop.
So, anyways, Miss Allie, we talked about how you met us, but can you talk about like how you got into being a TVI in the first place? Because I feel like it is kind of like a niche
Hmm.
job. So can you talk about like what happened, like the story?
Hmm. Yeah, so I honestly, I really had no intention of becoming a TBI. Even after I learned about TVIs, I thought it was great. It's not something I wanted to do. I wanted to be a brailleist. After I graduated, my undergraduate was in special education, and then I kind of inadvertently um, met a student that had a visual impairment and read Braille, and I fell in love with Braille, and I became a Brailleist. And I loved being a Brailleist, and that's where I met my best friend in the world, Megan, who you guys know.
Oh, we love
We
her.
all
Um,
love
Shout out to
Megan.
and
Megan.
yeah, we were Braillists together for maybe 3 years, and I loved it. I loved having to kind of figure out ways to adapt things that would work, like graphics and math, things like that. And then there was just I did have my teaching license at the time, not specifically for a TBI, but it would have been very easy to just add that on since I already had that background. And at the time, they were just, it's not even at the time then, it's all the time. There's always a need for TBIs. And I just kind of got pulled into it because the district really needed a TBI. And they were like, oh, well, you have your teaching license. Why don't you just add this? So Megan was like, just do it. It'll be a pay raise and not much of a pay raise, but I said, fine, I'll push myself. And I did it. And so that's basically how I became a TBI.
Wow. So
Was,
really
was
quick, just for our sighted viewers, can you tell
mhm.
us the difference between a TVI and a brailleist?
Yeah, well, so right now, I kind of do both. And so some TVIs are also brailless, but it's basically creating, it used to just be creating braille materials for students to access their classroom. So worksheets that students would get in print, I would braille them, graphics like charts and I'm trying to think diagrams, things like that. But now it's also creating, as technology has become more advanced, Braillists also make documents accessible digitally. And so it's not just make putting things in Braille, it's just making things accessible in Braille or making them accessible in digital form. But I always kind of did both. Um, I mean, when I was a Brailleist, I did that. And then when I was a TBI, I was still my own Brailleist.
Gotcha.
Um, yeah. So they are different jobs,
Gotcha.
but sometimes they're kind of merged into one.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I don't even think my county has an official braille list. Like my TVI is also my braille
Yeah.
list and a bunch of other students' braille lists. So yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
great.
Okay, so I have a question. Since you weren't always a TVI, and you just like stumbled across a blind person, if you will, didn't like have someone
Uh-huh.
that you knew who was blind. Do you think it's like becoming a TVI has impacted your view at all of blind people? Like, if you had met a blind person, like, what, like 30 years ago, like before you
Mhm.
were a TVI, do you think
When
you would have
when I
interacted
was
with
9 years
them?
old.
Well, like, okay, let's say like then, like 20 years ago.
Way to put your
Do you
Okay.
age
think,
on blast.
I know, old. Do you
Yeah.
think you would have
Oldest person we've ever
interacted?
had on the podcast.
Oh,
Sorry.
this is very
Wow.
true.
I'm honored.
Do you
Yeah.
think you would have interacted with him differently before you had like became a TVI than you would now?
I do. And that's why I try to give people grace when they do things that really annoy me. Because I think, yeah, I probably would have done the same thing. I probably would have talked louder or slower or, um, all of the stereotypical things that you think of when people first meet somebody who's blind. I mean, I had never met someone who was blind until I became a Brailleist. But I think I probably would have done a lot of the stereotypical things.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's
that
okay to
makes
do
sense.
them. If you've done them, it's okay.
Yeah, we're not holding it against you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we secretly do, but you know. So I would ask you what your favorite who your favorite student is, but I think we all know it's Hayes over here. No offense to any other students. She'd be my favorite student too. I don't know if that's true, but yeah. But who like what was your favorite moment like as a TBI? Like was there ever a moment where you're like, "Oh my gosh, like I love doing this?"
Yeah, I mean, there's probably so many. Like a specific, I can't think of a specific moment, but I can think of um, maybe some of my like favorite parts of being a TBI. I have really come to learn that I love figuring out ways to adapt math. Weirdly, am really into that. Um, and one of my so I've always worked with middle school students. So two of the students that I have now, Hayes being one, is the first time I've ever worked with high school students, and I've been with yeah, both of them since they entered high school. And working with high school students is um, it's a lot different because what's actually happening is I'm gradually working myself out of the job with these students, and that's what you want. And so and I'm learning that. And as I've talked to other TBIs, like I talked to Jay Bravo about this, and he told me the same thing. He said that's kind of what you want. So it's a great thing because I can see that you guys don't need me like you used to. It's like bittersweet. And
Mhm.
so I think that's one of my favorite parts is being able to be with students for a long period of time and not just a few years and kind of seeing their growth and thinking that maybe I had something to do with that over time and
Oh
that
yes.
You
that
did, Allie.
they're doing as well as they are and maybe I had a part in that. And and then now I have a student in sixth grade, and he needs me a lot, and he's great. He's really smart, and he's going to end up being just like my two students in high school. But it's really cool to go back to sixth grade and kind of I'm reliving, what I used to do with middle school students, and I know where he's going to be. And so I'm really lucky to be able to stay with students for a long time and see them grow and change as they get older.
I love
Yeah,
that.
that's awesome.
Hmm.
So, we just talked about favorites, but what do you have
Oh
like
my gosh.
a good funny like do you have some like funny TVI stories? Keeping what is it called? Like anonymity.
Yeah.
Anonymity.
And yeah, that thing. Keeping that intact, like not naming names.
You
Do you
know,
have any like funny TVI story? Because I mean, funny things happen to blind people,
Funny things happen to blind
awkward.
people,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, awkward, embarrassing things. Do you have any like funny stories you'd be able to tell us? Because I'm sure you get plenty.
So I knew you guys were going to ask me this, and I was thinking about this before. And it's funny because I can't think of too many funny things. There's a lot of weird and awkward and just strange things that have happened that I guess you could say are funny. I mean, something funny that did happen the other day was Hayes and I both scared the crap out of each other. I was like working in this room and I heard somebody rustling behind me and I turned and I jumped. And then I'm like, oh yeah, Hayes can't see me. And then I was like, hi. And then Hayes jumped. Her face was so funny. She looked like she'd like seen a ghost.
Did
Your
you
face turned white. You're like,
I
oh
was
my God.
terrified.
did you not know she was gonna be there? Like, why were you just
No,
No,
going into
I
the
just went in there
room?
to use like I do a
extended
separate
time on a
setting and
test.
extended time for
Yeah.
tests.
Oh
And
yeah.
so I didn't realize she would be working in that office, and so I thought I was going into an empty room.
Yeah, so we both scared each
That'd
other.
be really
Yeah.
funny if she started like singing or something and like
Or if I was having a secret conversation.
oh yes.
Yeah.
So I have one more, pretty lighthearted question. I don't know if you can answer this one, but we talked about, great students and great moments, but on as for the co-hosts of this podcast that you've been invited to be
Hmm.
on, do you have a favorite co-host, Miss Allie? We would love to know.
I
We
can't answer
really
that.
would. Yes, you can.
You guys in my mind are like the same person. When I think of Hayes, I
Really?
think of Layla. When I think of Layla, I can't think of one of you
Wow.
without the other.
Well, because I feel like you teach Hayes, so like
Yeah, you
honestly,
see
it'd
me
be like
every day.
way more understandable
That's
to be like,
Well,
oh, I love
crazy.
Hayes because she's my student.
yeah, I have different, yeah, I love Hayes in a different way because I've known her for so long, but I love you too. I'm more
Oh,
involved in
thanks.
Hayes's life.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about that because camps. I'm very involved
Yeah.
in both
Yeah.
of your
No, you
lives.
see, you
You're
have
involved in
been
the summer
involved in a lot of
drama.
things in my life, Miss Allie. Let
In
me
the
just
summer
tell you.
drama for sure. She's like all
Oh
up in that
Yeah, summer
gosh.
drama.
camp, summer camp.
Oh
We
my
involve poor
goodness.
Allie in everything. Like we're
Yeah, and then
like,
she's like, "Don't
we
involve
need you.
me."
I love it and I hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, you're just too amazing. We can't not involve
You
you. I'm
are too
sorry.
amazing.
Thanks.
Okay, can
Yeah.
I ask can I like go off topic and ask a question that technically isn't in the
Sure.
list, but I realized would be helpful? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's not too intimidating.
No.
Okay, awesome. Okay. So you're a teacher. Well,
Mm-hmm.
a different type of teacher, but you work with a lot of teachers.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times teachers get a blind student and they're
Oh
like,
gosh.
"Oh my God, what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
Like, help me. I'm stuck here." If there was a blind teacher or teacher of a blind student watching this podcast that had like never really taught a blind student before, or even one that had, what would be your biggest piece of advice for them?
I would say don't think so hard about it. And that it's not, I think when teachers think that when they find out they're gonna have a blind student, it's like a deer in headlights. They're, oh my God, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna do this? How's this gonna work? And I try to tell teachers that it's not that different than having a sighted student in your class, especially at this level where you guys are in high school.
Hmm.
Um, I would just say, don't think so hard about it. And I would also say, lean on me. Lean on me. I literally give every single teacher my email, my phone number. Call me, text me anytime, any day. Lean on me. But really, that your blind students are not that much different than your sighted students, and there's not that much more that you have to do having a blind student in your class, at least in high school, I would say.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
That makes sense.
Mhm.
Um, I would just
That's
also
my
say because I had.
opinion.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry. No,
that's my
that's
opinion.
great. I would also just like to add really quick. Obviously, I'm not a TVI, but I had a teacher this year, and I'm not going to name drop because all my teachers really have been amazing. But I had a teacher who she seemed very nervous about teaching a blind student, and there were definitely some mess ups in the beginning, and there were some mistakes, and I was just very politely like, hey, like this actually isn't accessible. Can you do it this way instead, or like whatever. So I would also say like it's okay to make mistakes and mess up. Like it's fine, just like any
Yeah,
other student.
for
Like
Oh
it's
sure.
yeah,
okay.
for sure.
Exactly. Don't think about it so hard. Don't be so
Yeah, yeah,
critical
yeah,
of,
yeah.
to give yourself grace. And also, I would add in there, talk to your student. Just talk
Please,
to them. Communicate with your
please,
student,
please.
Just treat
you
us
know?
like you would like any other student.
Exactly.
Like if you were going to communicate with another student about an issue, you can communicate with me about
Hmm.
the issue just like you would anyone else. So,
Yeah, I had
Hmm.
an experience in eighth grade where I was on my phone in class, and I should not have been. And this was totally my bad. And my teacher found out. And before disciplining me on it, she calls my TVI and she's like, "Hey, so she has her phone. Am I still allowed to like, take it and do the protocol? Like, I feel so bad punishing her." My TVI was like, "Please do. Like, she should not be on her phone right now." And so it was kind of funny because she like didn't want to discipline me. And of course, later I was like, "Miss Angie, you should have said no. Like, then I wouldn't have gotten in trouble." But like, just treat them like a normal student, please. So, one more question before we leave. And I know this has kind of been a funny episode. This is kind of on a serious note, but I mean, it can be funny too. If you could send a message to, I guess you could do both, either every blind person in the world or every sighted person that has never met a blind person before, like which one would you rather do? And then, like, what would your message say if you could?
Okay, so I'll start with maybe blind people with a message to blind people. I would say that you're really missing out by not trying more condiments. I thought about this one and I thought, you know what? Blind people really need to have the guts to just try condiments. I feel like that's like a
Interesting.
thing. I feel like that's a thing.
Really?
Yeah. I feel
How?
like I
I
just feel
love
like
condiments.
okay, well you're one of a few. I feel like there's
Hmm.
most blind people that I have met, a lot of them. There, I don't know if it's afraid to get it on your shirt or hands dirty, but I don't know very many people with visual impairments that enjoy condiments. And I would say, really, just enjoy those condiments. Try them.
I'm just a
Wow,
picky
that was not
eater,
what I
but
And
expected.
that is
then,
interesting.
and then for sighted people, I would say this is one of my biggest pet peeves: is you do not need to jump over or try to avoid a cane.
Oh my gosh.
It is better to just stay in your spot and let the person with the cane move around you.
I know.
That's
It
like
because like it's dripping with acid and blind juice and it's a razor and like the minute it gets within a foot of you, your eyes are just gonna fall out. Like, oh my
exactly.
I
gosh.
know, and you're gonna be
So get
blind
out of the
too.
way.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, but better yet, instead of even just staying in your place and saying nothing, just say, "Hey, I'm in front of you."
Just wanted to
Yes.
let you know, like I'm right
Hey, I'm
here.
here.
Or talk to your friend. Like people that just walk through the hallways and they talk to their friends and they have very loud conversations. You are so helpful because I know exactly where you are.
You
Thank
are,
you.
Yeah,
except
People that
whenever
talk.
you get near me and then you instantly fall silent until you move past me
Oh,
again.
yeah, don't do that.
Don't do
It
that
doesn't
either.
help anymore.
It doesn't.
and one more for sighted people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please let blind people know when you're holding the door.
Oh,
Don't just
Oh,
please.
stand there and hold
yes.
it quietly.
Yep. Oh yeah,
Say, I
this
got
was
the
a big
door.
thing last year.
I
Yeah.
got the door.
Would you try and open the door and then they were there?
Where you're just not sure.
Pretty
Is the door
much.
slowly closing? Is somebody opening it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it, do I need to pause before I get to it? It's just, yeah, a whole thing,
Yeah,
especially
it's
when there's
weird.
a lot, when you're in a crowded area.
Yeah,
I
for
definitely
sure.
agree.
Hmm.
Okay, well,
Well,
Allie, thank you so much for coming on. I'm so glad we got to have you. I feel like we've been saying we were going to have you on for
I
forever. So
know.
I'm
And
so
then we
glad you
never did.
finally
So thank
could
you.
join us.
Here we are. Thanks
Yeah.
for having me.
Of course. It was so
Anytime,
fun.
Allie.
Well, thank you guys all for listening. I realize I say thanks for watching a lot, and you guys don't watch, and we don't either. So thank you for listening. Follow us on Instagram, Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, give us like a comment, a 5-star rating on Spotify. And yeah,
Yeah.
check back every Saturday for
Saturday at
the
noon
new episode. Yep.
comes out. We won't see you later.